You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back.
Entertainment.
I can't believe you walked back in here without bringing those cupcakes that Dean went to the store.
They're not allowed. They said no food in the studio.
Oh man, please.
What kind of rule? This is LA Talk Radio, mister.
If you want to keep the
This
cupcakes
is not-
to yourself,
What
just
happened
say
to
that.
the lone gunman who fought the man? They won't let me bring in cupcakes. They won't. The Ramones would be so ashamed of you.
Because I'm like an anti-cupcake rule. I'm coward. I'm being polite as a
I've
guest.
got the sword right
as
now.
a
What
guest
I say.
on this show on
They
Combat
let swords,
Radio,
but not cupcakes.
I'm not going to flagrantly disobey the rules on a show that I'm a guest on.
I like your style. Thank you for having the courtesy. Always courteous, Dean Haglund. Of
Absolutely.
X-Files fame.
As opposed to Rebel Phil Leirness.
Yes, we
breaker
all
of
know
rules.
breaker of rules, breaker of commandments here at LA Talk Radio.
That's producer Phil Leirness to you, also known as the cupcake.
The cupcake, and also with us is our favorite physicist, Mike Dennin of Ancient Aliens film.
Thank you.
And I want to give a shout out to some of our friends: Tyson Sainer, Sean Caleri, TK1313, Fiona Swarbrick, a couple of our friends on Twitter who follow us, Star Wars Barbie.
You know, if I was born 2 days later,
The
I
real
would have been
Lobot.
TK1313. That was going to be my name.
Somebody's got it. Somebody's already got it as a Twitter handle. You're out. Sorry.
Sorry.
I would. You know, I'd plug you guys on Twitter, but you guys
should
aren't
do.
even on Twitter. In fact,
I'm
I think,
on Twitter.
I think you've got bots running your Twitter pages.
I got Twitter bots.
I don't even think you guys are really on Twitter.
And now I'm taking pills for my Twitter bots.
Yeah. We're talking Ancient Aliens, and we'll have General Zod calling here in a minute, so you can have your questions ready for him.
I fear General Zod.
No, there's no need to.
I desire General Zod. We were just talking about this, how fear and desire
Speaking
go
of
together,
superheroes,
exactly.
Speaking of superheroes, yeah, General Zod. Is he considered a hero, or is he an anti-hero?
He's an anti. He's a
Either way, he's your ruler.
evil despot.
Yeah.
But while we're waiting on his
Yes.
call,
Why?
You know, the conversation before the break got away from me because Mark Ryan was throwing in all these vocabulary words that are above
Yeah, I'm
big
not
words.
allowed to use big words on Ancient Aliens.
No. You're not allowed to use big words.
Is that true?
Well, you know, they're very good about making sure that they understand what I say
Yeah.
when they interview me. That's kind of the guideline.
Yeah, that's
But you know,
that's very smart.
I
That is
was
smart.
I was actually talking to some scientists that I know about, of all things, the Avengers movie.
Right.
And one of the things they were really impressed by with Mark Ruffalo's performance as Bruce Banner was that he really authentically seemed to embody the way that scientists communicate with each other. An understanding of the vocabulary, but also just the expression of the ideas without getting bogged down into technological terms. And so often in scientific depictions, like Star Trek and things like this, you see it becomes all
all
the
the
jargon.
techno speak in the jargon. Yeah.
Right. And people have told me that that's not really, once you know that, you develop kind of a linguistic shorthand with each other.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, because, you know, jargon gets confusing for everyone. So you'd much rather, you know, keep it
And do
simple.
you hang out with a group
So-
of physicists then, like on a Saturday afternoon, having coffee? And you
Unfortunately, I spend a lot of Saturday afternoons, or fortunately, actually, on the soccer field hanging out with crazy soccer parents because I have 3 kids and I coach them.
I like it. That's what
So
I
then-
do. Oh, you're the
yeah,
coach.
I'm the coach.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Yeah, so
I'm the
it's-
coach this coming season, so we'll have a lot to talk
you know,
about.
it's really fun, and I have a very strong rule: if you yell at me, you become the coach.
Oh, wow, that's a good rule.
And no
That's
parents
good.
yell at me.
Right.
Let me ask you this.
That's
Getting
good.
back to Ancient Aliens for a second. Not that we're hooligans.
Yeah.
We can talk soccer all day. We're
Right,
total
yeah,
soccer
exactly.
fans. But
Football.
Do you ever sit back and be
football,
like, you know, guys, this is just getting too crazy. This is getting too ridiculous. Or do you embrace the possibility of all of it? Because
You know, for most of the things I like to think about, okay, could it be possible in the
Yeah.
So I sort of have a fundamental view that, yes, it could be possible that aliens came to visit. There's just, in my mind, no evidence of it. I mean, the people did it. People are smart, and they did it.
Right.
I did get into a little bit of trouble. On one episode, I did make a statement about, and I still stand by it, that it would be really neat to meet aliens.
Right.
there's
I
nothing-
thought that would be cool. I did get an email in response to that about how I was wrong, and every person in this person's family had been abducted by aliens, and it was not fun.
Oh, right.
Oh,
But
man.
that's the different
So, yeah, that's
story.
the different
Dean,
story.
that's a good opportunity for you to plug the National Abduction Center. Or what is that thing you were talking
The
about?
UFO Reporting Center?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, that's I don't know, why should I plug that?
Because
Yeah.
you plugged it on the show once before when you were on the phone. I mean,
Well, that's
you're
right.
really
If somebody gets abducted, you should report it to the national.
Oh, we have a
1-800
center you can
Yeah,
report it
yeah.
to?
There's
Oh,
1-800.
okay.
It's up in Washington
No,
State.
that's
and
the National UFO Reporting Center. That's not about abductions. Peter Davenport, who is a scientist, runs the National UFO Reporting Center, and it's if you've had a sighting.
or an abduction. But MUFON is more for abductions. There's
I would
groups
think
for
if
that.
you were
All right.
abducted, then it's been identified, and it's not a UFO anymore.
Here
I don't know if
is,
it's been abducted. I mean, if it's identified.
time for General Zod, fellas.
Oh, speaking of abduction.
Here we go.
Contact General Zod if you've
General
been abducted.
Zod is
Yes.
in the house. General, how are you?
Yes, this is General Zod. I am well. How are the lots of you?
We're
Very-
good.
very
We're
good,
good.
General
We're going to
Zod.
be even better after I play your intro. So here it goes.
General Zod. Bow down before me! Is there no one on this planet to even challenge me? Kneel. Rise before Zod. Come to me, son of Jor-El! Kneel before Zod!
All right, let's get down to
That was
business.
good intro.
General, how?
Yes, I never tire of that.
No, we never tire.
I heard something disturbing before I called. Dean, you called me evil.
Evil.
Oh, jeez.
No, I
Is
called
it
you.
so evil to make all humans equal? You are all equally under my heel.
Oh, but that's true. I never thought of the equality part of being under your heel.
Don't backtrack with your defiance now, Haglund.
Well, technically, he asked, "Are you a hero, General Zod?" And I said, "Well, technically, you're not a hero per se.
Oh, here we
in
go.
the Jungian sense of the word.
You see, I am merely honest about my motivations and my goals.
That's true.
Phil's just shaking his head at this whole thing.
How Dean Haglund grew so tall with so little backbone is amazing to me.
You stand up to General Zod, then, Mr. Leirness. Go ahead.
Yeah, you do it.
Yes, very brave there on the other end of this telephone line.
I've
Yes,
got Mark
exactly.
Ryan's sword. I have a question for General Zod.
Please.
May I,
of course.
General? May I kneel before Zod for some wisdom? Dean Haglund here
Yes,
has
kneel on the telephone with Zod.
Dean Haglund here has actually a Kickstarter campaign in support of a graphic novel he's writing called Shock and Awesome that deals with purportedly the real reasons we went to war in Iraq. General, I would like you to tell me, why did we actually go to war in Iraq?
Zod was bored.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
No
it's
need
such
to
a
buy
simple-
the graphic novel.
No,
now?
no, I guess-
That's simple and easy.
Yeah, I'll just
Yes,
cancel
Dean, your
that.
job is
Kickstarter.
done for you. There you go.
Hey,
Well-
General, I don't. Not to interrupt Dean, but
No.
I got to tell you, you're also on with physicist Mike Dennin, who teaches a class. You still teach the class?
Oh,
of
yeah.
Comic book heroes.
Yeah.
We need you as a guest speaker. Just coming through the roof and shake things up a little bit.
Yeah.
How are
Yes, I'd be
the
most pleased to.
How are the physics different? Are the laws of physics different in the Forbidden Zone?
You mean in the Phantom Zone?
Phantom Zone.
Zone,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
Actually,
Yeah.
Other than taking away an entire dimension and pressing everything flat, it's not all that different. It's just very cramped.
Ramped.
Cramped. That's the
Indeed.
physics term. I
That's
like.
a
Cramped.
technical term.
It is. Yes. It's like quantum mechanics. Strange.
Didn't you want to ask General
Cramped.
Zod if he had donated to your
Oh yes,
Shock
General
and Awe?
Zod. Have you actually? I'm wondering if you actually backed me on my Kickstarter campaign for my graphic novel.
Actually, I personally have not, but I am a fan of graphic novels.
Oh, good.
I shall be happy to mention it for you on Twitter.
Well, please do. I would like General Zod's recommendation supporting my
Yes,
Kickstarter
you shall
campaign.
have my endorsement.
I love it already.
That's a pretty good.
That's pretty
That's
good.
big, yeah.
I would say that would go out to thousands of followers.
All of Planet Houston is going to be donating to your campaign.
That's right.
And that's
They will donate or they will die.
Well, that's what I like. That's the kind of that's the good karma I'm looking for in this graphic novel.
see, that's how you get it done.
Yeah.
Donate or die.
Donate or die.
Can you put that in quotes on the graphic novel?
You know what? I'm just going to start a website called that. I would
Donate
think.
or
Donate or
die.
die.
Donate or die. It's just a group sourcing donation site.
Does it help a physicist to be linked in with General Zod?
That could help, particularly if I get stuck in that two-dimensional world where it's cramped.
Right.
Called academia.
Right, cold. Yeah.
It is always better for your health to be on Zod's good side as well.
Yes. How long do you get final domination?
Oof.
Well, I actually have ruled your world for some time now. I just occasionally like to reconquer certain territories when I get bored.
So we've been under your rule and living benevolently. We've not even realized. That's how great your rule is, that we don't even realize.
Look at your last few presidents and ask me that question again.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, General. That's a good point. Do you want to ask... I guess General Zod is proof of ancient aliens' existence, and
I suppose he's been around for so long,
and maybe he built the pyramids and the Incan temples and
the lines
like
of. Did you?
Actually, I did not, but I know the secret of those structures.
Oh, you do?
You see, indeed, it was time-traveling pranksters from the future.
Yes.
They travel back in time. They build these things. And then they go home, purchase history books, and laugh.
I see. So the prank there is just to fool everybody for 2,000 to 3,000 years.
Yeah.
Indeed, and thanks to them, Elvis Presley was actually responsible for the pyramids. Sadly, they were responsible for Elvis Presley's later career in Vegas.
Oh, that's a horrible prank.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, actually. I got several, but one is from Jean Paul Kelly, who rather suicidally asks, General, what is the best makeup to cover your beard?
I believe he is under the misapprehension that I am some sort of insane clown. I will have to deal with him personally.
Mm-hmm. And what are your views? Dizzy Hart wants to know, what are your views on global warming, the polar shift, et cetera, et cetera?
I find all of those quite entertaining.
Entertaining. It is entertaining.
Now, is the world going to end on December 21st, as the Mayans predicted, or as some people said the Mayans have predicted?
Of course not. Zod is not done with this world.
Okay.
Nobody and nothing can destroy planet Houston until Zod says, okay, destroy planet Houston. That is where I keep all of my things.
All right. Yeah. Move your things first before the destruction of the planet.
Let's go around real quick on that. Mike, is the world going to end on December 21st?
I sure hope not, and I don't think so.
Okay. Dean?
I have a gig in January 2013, so
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. So I'm already booked past that, so I can't. So that will stay.
History is replete with endings. If you believe it's ending, it's probably ending. For those of us that know that it's not, it's not.
Yeah. It's true. In the 1500s, the year 1500, they thought that was going to be the end of the Renaissance.
I was actually thinking it's a great night to get married. If you're engaged, get married that night, and therefore ensure that your world is ending. A new world will be beginning. Yeah. But, so let's schedule big. Of course, I'm hanging out with you on the end of the
that's
Dean
right.
Haglund. We're doing a 24-hour live streaming version of our podcast from the top of our office in downtown L.A., which overlooks the Mayan Theater. Because if something's going down, ground zero will have to be the Mayan Theater.
Even Zod thinks that's brilliant. But my question to you now, if you'll forgive me for asking Phil a question, General, is who's going to be on 24 hours of the Chillpak Hollywood Hour?
Why, I think it might be Ethan for...
Who is going to be your guest, or at least part of the...
Charo.
I can't believe Charles built a head of combat radio. That is the side of the apocalypse. That's the end of it right there.
She's coming in early, though. She's got to get to bed. Right. Yeah, so she'll leave early.
Before it gets going?
Yeah, before it gets going. She has other gigs.
General, yes. If Phil doesn't invite us down to combat radio, he needs to sit in the corner, or invite us down to the Chillpak Hour, 24-hour. What are you calling this extravaganza?
We're going to call it the All Mayan.
The All Mayan.
We got to get our marketing department on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. All Mayan, nothing else.
That's all Mayan, not urine.
Excuse me, did you just say urine?
No, urine. Your Mayan.
In front of the general?
For General Zod.
It's the same to me.
Yeah, look for General Zod to be throwing buses that night.
That is going to be awesome.
Any other questions? I mean, we've got a superhero expert here.
Wait, when you throw a bus, is it better to pick it up from the back or the front?
It does not matter back or front. It's just easier to throw it lengthwise than it is sideways. It's more like a javelin than a brick.
I see. Is that due to...
I'd like to do some point-counterpoint. General, is there actually... General, you brought up the theory. is there actually time travel? And I'd love our resident physicist to take the counterpoint, whatever the general says.
Interesting. Yeah, go ahead. General, is there... That's a good one. General, is there time travel?
Indeed there is, but it was outlawed centuries ago because it is so damned tedious.
Mike?
So, I'm waiting for it. We can predict how to bend space and time so that you could travel back in time.
Are you kidding me?
But Stephen Hawking said if we had already figured that out, we would know.
We
perhaps.
would
know. Yeah, it would come back to tell us.
There's a lot of challenges there. There's a lot of things in physics where you can do the math, but you don't know if it's physically possible. So we can do the math that says what it would take to travel back in time. But it might take more energy than the energy of the universe.
Wow.
Just doing the math might take more
Yeah,
energy.
exactly.
Just be thinking about
Just
that.
thinking about it hurts.
Yeah.
So
wait, mathematically, isn't that describing?
Mathematically, we can describe space and time and how it bends.
Right.
And you can talk about things that we call, in technical terms, closed time-like curves.
Right.
Because you go in a closed loop, forward in time, back in time to where you were.
Right.
Now, what I've always wondered, and I talk to my friends who work in this and can't quite figure out, is if I'm doing that, but everything else that was there is still moving forward in time, don't I come back to nothing?
Right, because it's gone by the time
I get back there.
It's
so maybe we're constantly traveling back in time and just missing ourselves.
But do you not subscribe to Dr. Buckaroo Banzai's theory that time exists so that everything does not happen at once?
That is probably true. I do like that one. And isn't that wherever you go, there you are?
Indeed.
That was...
But what... Okay, General, then explain to me, what was a watermelon doing there?
I'm totally confused by your
that. I have no idea.
I stumped the General. I won stump the General.
You're going to get us all killed.
I am intrigued.
He's intrigued. What was the watermelon doing there?
It's a Buckaroo Banzai. It's an unanswered mystery from Buckaroo Banzai.
What was the watermelon doing there?
Yeah, and the answer is, I'll explain it to you later. And we never got that explanation.
You never get it.
So, Mike, what was the watermelon doing there?
It was probably an energy source, just like pickles when you put things into them and they light up.
Ah, but doesn't the watermelon have to be acidic? Then to get
it would, but
I'm just saying I know a little bit.
It's a different type of energy source.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
The watermelon just took away a dimension and cramped me being Haglund.
In cramps?
Any other questions for the great General Zod? Why we're graced with his presence besides watermelons and shit like that?
Yes, I am now craving a watermelon.
Yeah.
I would like to know, since you mentioned it, what is the world record for throwing a bus?
Oh, that's good.
Well, once you put one in orbit, it becomes hard to measure.
That's true. It went into orbit. So technically, it's still
broken. Going.
Yeah.
Indeed. Do you count linear distance, or do you start counting the distance as it circumnavigates the globe?
Good question.
He stumped us now.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the official Olympic rule is on that.
I would think that if I had a javelin going around, that I would just
keep going.
Keep going, and then wait till the next Olympic cycle.
There's probably a time limit. If it doesn't land in a certain amount of time, is it a legal throw?
Hey, let's check the Olympics.
I believe we shall need to check with the Guinness judges on that.
Hey, General, I've got one last question for you from Cylon Betty 285, who wants to know what she can do to be more Zod-like.
The best thing to do to be more Zod-like is to go forth and conquer in the name of Zod. As I mentioned, I like to reconquer territory from time to time, and to have my loyal subjects conquered as well in my name. In doing this, you can be more like Zod in that you will be alive like Zod.
Wow.
Well, General, it's always a privilege to have you on the show here. We definitely like your style, and we won't keep you any longer because we know you have people to
conquer,
dominate, conquer, destroy.
And I take it back. You're not evil.
Places to go, people to crush.
Yes.
Dean would like to reshape his earlier comment.
You're not evil at all.
He's just misunderstood.
Exactly.
Hey.
I realize
I'm
now.
a visionary.
He's a visionary. He's a visionary. General, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you, Ethan. All of you, take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, General Zod.
General Zod. Bow down before me! There's no one on this planet to even challenge me. Zod!
Kneel.
Rise before Zod. Come to me, son of Jor-El. Kneel before Zod.
On your computer, on your Wi-Fi radio, on your iPhone. Commercial-free original talk. Only on LA Talk Radio. Your favorite talk station.